Can we just talk for a second about how much better the NBA playoffs are than the NBA regular season? The NBA needs to do something about this. I've talked about it. It really comes down to the stars giving it their all, playing tough on both ends of the floor night in and night out, playing at least 70 games, 75 games, all 82 if you're healthy, and then playing with true tenacity and competitiveness, again, defensively and offensively. We get all of that in the playoffs. Nobody wants to miss a game. Nobody wants to take off a possession, and the product is instantly so much better. They should consider maybe shortening the season. They never will. There's too much tradition and history and records and all those things and money being made. But sometimes less is more. Look at the NFL. 17 games. It used to be 14, now 16, then 16, now 17. But 17 games in the postseason, and everybody has to watch every game. College football, very similar. 12 games, maybe a playoff at the end. Maybe your top teams are playing 14, 15 games at the very most. But in the NBA, it's 82 games and then a 7-game series, 7-game series, 7-game series. It's just a little bit much. And the jump is so drastic. Little league basketball, you play like 10 games in a season. High school basketball, you play 20 games in a season and then the playoffs. College basketball, you're around 30 games in the season and then the playoffs. And then the jump to, you're going up just, incrementally 10 games per level. Then the NBA jumps from 30 all the way to 82. It just feels like a bit much. And it hasn't been a problem for decades, but it is now because the players don't want to get hurt. They want to be able to make their money. They want to perform at a high level. And the only way to ensure they can do that for years to come is oftentimes to take breaks, to take time off. And so they do it. So it would be interesting to see if the NBA went to 50 games, would we see the overall, and then maybe eliminate one or two teams from the playoffs and make the first round 5-game series and then go back to 7 after that. I think you'd see the overall level of the product rise quite a bit because the difference between the regular season and the NBA postseason is so drastic that it needs to be looked at to see what they can do to recreate that postseason feel at least a little bit more closely in the regular season because football has done it. Every game matters. You watch every game in college football and professional football because each game has meaning. Baseball and basketball, they've kind of lost that. So it's something to look at.